Free agency, free agency, free agency. We are here, fellas. On this edition of the Burgandy Breakdown, we just signed Laramie Tunsil via trade, Will Harris, Javon Kinlaw, Jonathan Jones, Eddie Goldman, and more. On this episode, we're going to discuss everything that the Washington Commanders have done over the last 48 hours. And the Burgandy Breakdown starts now. It's been an action-packed 48 hours for the Washington Commanders. We made some key signings, and we also didn't make some key signings, if that makes sense to you guys. But how are you guys feeling? Happy Wednesday to you guys. Sorry that we're late. We had some technical difficulties. Juan will be on in a few minutes, so we're going to start this thing off right now. But how you feeling, John, on this free agency?
The team told us to temper expectations. We told everyone to temper expectations, Josh and Rio and everyone online. And somehow I still feel disappointed. Somehow I still feel a little blue-balled. Somehow I still feel a little, kept under the rock. But 48 hours in, we haven't had to give out any giga contracts or overpay for guys. So I'm not too upset, all things considered.
Did you say you still a little blue-balled?
I wanted some players. We didn't get them. I felt upset.
Bruh. What?
I'm on one tonight.
I didn't even hear that. I didn't even register in my headphones.
Oh my
what?
God.
Oh my God.
Hey,
I wanted
so
Javon Holland. He went to the Giants. I felt upset.
Nah, I feel you though. I've been calling Reedy all week, like, where's the corresponding move? The corresponding move has been our thing, like, ever since last year when I went off about Jahan being traded, and I'm like, where's the corresponding move? So now every time we feel like we ain't doing enough, or some shit that's underwhelming, it's like, where the fuck is the corresponding move? So that's where we've been at all week. And it's the free agency started out like that. When the tamper period started, we was wondering all day what the hell is going to happen, and then boom, the Tunsil trade. When that trade came, Reedy called my phone, and he was calling me, and I'm like, hold on. My phone, it's a lot of alerts coming through. Don't say nothing. Let me just see what it is first. And I seen Larry Tunsil trade, and I'm like, oh shit! I went off. I'm like, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. That's the corresponding move. So definitely was excited about that. Then it kind of come, because initially the first signing, the Kinlaw thing, it was very underwhelming for me. I still don't really know too much about the guy. I mean, we see they saying, I'm hearing that he's good against the run and things like that. A lot of people saying that we overpaid for him, so I don't really know how to feel about that one. But we'll see. I mean, it's still an AP we trust. Then the re-signings, so cool with the re-signings that we did. Again, shout out to Zach Ertz, Bobby Wagner, Tress Way. C-Rod was kind of early on. The only re-signing I kind of had a question about was McNichols. Not saying that McNichols wasn't, okay for us last year, but in my mindset, it's just kind of like, so we're moving forward with this running back room again. We got Eckler, we got B-Rob, we got McNichols, and we got C-Rod. These four running backs, to me, that seems like they're not going to invest into another running back unless they're looking at, potentially putting C-Rod back and forth off the practice squad again, or maybe, McNichols' contract being, releasable around camp time. Or if they move Eckler, I don't know. But just in my mind, I'm like, I wanted to leave some room there so we can definitely draft somebody. And then you say you would?
I still would.
Yeah, hell yeah, you got to. That's in my opinion, you got to. So it's just, kind of like trying to figure all that out and just see how we gonna move forward. But like I said, it was definitely a little underwhelming. Then we get the excitement, and then you kind of back. All right, who the hell is this? Who the hell is this? The Jonathan Jones trade signing. You know, it was one of the most solid moves we've done thus far. You know, I mean, not the corner that I wanted. You know, I was high on Ward, but like we said the other day, a lot of these guys pretty much got overpaid, and a lot of these guys got that bag. So kind of had to simmer down a little bit and kind of figure it all out.
So you just gonna give us your whole analysis in one take? I mean, we couldn't like warm up to all of that. You just, I
thought about it midway as I was talking. I'm like, I might as well keep going.
Might as well just finish it out.
He had this on his mind the last 48 hours. He couldn't wait to get on the pod.
That actually was off the top of the dome.
He couldn't wait to get on the pod and just start talking. But I mean, yeah, I mean, like how you feeling about the Tunsil signing, John? Like where does that rank for you? Like, what were you feeling in that moment when it came across the screen from Adam Schefter and all of the you know, the A1 reporters on the scene that Laremy Tunsil was traded to the Washington Commanders for 4 picks, and basically we're getting a pick back, so technically 3 picks.
3 picks.
How were you feeling in that moment? Because I'm gonna tell you how I was feeling real quick. I was excited. Like, I was like, this is what I'm talking about. Because hence Z said last week that I wasn't excited when we got Debo when I was on vacation. So I had to show some excitement this week that I was excited for a player. But go ahead, John.
Well, it didn't help that Twitter was down for the first like 2.5 hours of tampering period on Monday. So all of us, because I was watching Josh, watching Rio, watching TV. I'm out here huddled up with Twitter notification. I have Twitter notifications waiting for something to come off, you know, something. And I'm waiting. I'm sitting there and I'm waiting and I'm chilling. I'm like, all right, we got, you know, this guy. They got this guy. And I see the Laremy Tunsil trade come in, and at first all I see is Laremy Tunsil has been traded. So I'm like, who don't got Laremy Tunsil? They easily give him a first round pick. Commanders. I said, excuse me. Mm-hmm. We did what now? Now look at the details. Round 3 this year, round 7 this year, round 2 and a 4 next year, but we're getting a 4th this year back. So you can kind of, so for a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 7th, we got All-Pro, Pro Bowl, left tackle, Laremy Tunsil. This pretty much says Brandon Coleman is going to move inside. Say what you will. Coleman's moving to the inside. Because you wouldn't trade for this big of a prospect if you didn't have some inkling of like, this Coleman cat, give him 7 sacks this season. Cosby's out. I don't know about Allegri. How about we move him inside? His size and hand you know, length. It's just like a Wyatt Millen this year. I wonder if he moves to the inside. Arm length. That's all I was looking for. My apologies. Arm, you know, wingspan. There we go.
His eyes in length.
Oh, wait. Scratch that. First off, pause on flag on the play. We'll post this later. We just got defensive lineman Dietrich Wise to the Commanders.
Breaking news.
1 year, $5 million. Dietrich Wise, if I remember correctly, was a Patriot. But back to the Tunsil thing.
Don't everybody get excited at the same time. Everybody don't get excited at the same time.
No, definitely
wild for me. It was wild, but that was a good deflection right there, John. I like it.
It was a great deflection on my part. I'm doing it well.
Right when the dip was on you, huh? Go ahead.
Hey man, gotta do what you gotta do in politics. No, but I'm not mad at the trade, and I'm not mad at the capital we got. But the fact we're down to 5 picks, a 1, a 2, a 4, a 6, and a 7 in a draft class, and we have yet to solidify a true edge. I am shocked by it. I'm happy about it, but I don't know why it just doesn't feel like we've done enough. If that makes sense, like it happened, but it feels like there was a second shoe to fall. and I'm waiting on that second shoe.
Yeah, I gotta say, I agree with you, but I don't necessarily think that Brandon Coleman is going inside. I think that he's probably going to end up being our right tackle. This is what when immediately when the Laramie Tunsil thing posted, this is what I had in my mind. People in the chat, let me know if you think I'm on this. And also like, share, subscribe on the Ball in the Burgundy podcast, as well as Reedy and Z, if you have not already done so, as well on to Juan Gotti Talking Sports. Juan will be on in a few minutes. He had some things going on, but he'll be on. But my thing I was saying was left tackle immediate starter, Laramie Tunsil. And I was saying that we should go out and look to improve our guard situation, because Z said he doesn't think that Allegretti is a starter in this league. He's a perennial backup. And the further review, I think he can start for you for maybe a couple games in the pinch, but he just doesn't have the the size needed inside. We need to like beef that up. So I was saying maybe we go out and get a Mekhi Becton, the guy that was formerly a tackle, and the Philadelphia Eagles put him inside, and we seen what he was able to do last year on that Eagles team. He's also a free agent. Then we got Tyler Biadasz as our center, and then when healthy, in a perfect world, maybe week 6, week 7, Sam Cosmi will be our right guard, and then Brandon Coleman pulling it up as our right tackle. That to me is a formidable offensive line, and it has all of the necessary pause, size, and everything that you need in order to, mow the lawn, what they used to say back in the day, like the Hogs, mow the lawn, like just mow the lawn like a lawnmower and run the ball up and down the field. And to the point of what Z made about the re-signing of Jeremy McNichols, I kind of wasn't sold on that either, because I'm like, we're running it back with the same backs. I had the same sentiment. Like at some point they're saying that we're going to draft a running back, I think, but I don't think it's going to be as high as we think it's going to be. The guys that we mentioned last week and weeks before, some of those top tier guys, they maybe draft someone maybe a little later, because right now, the way the draft picks are lining up for us, we have that first and we have that second, 29 and 61. And the way it looks to me, it looks like they're going to try to push those picks back and get some more picks in those middle rounds, because that's where your cream of the crop is, per Jeremy Fowler and all of those other supposedly draft experts at this time. But what do you think about that, Z?
Hold on, I was actually typing on the IG side, so I missed what you were saying. But I mean, I heard you talking about the McNichols part and then the draft, so that's what you were talking about. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, like you said, I don't know where we're going to go at as far as drafting a running back. Where I feel like what they saying that it's going to be a deep draft. I'm thinking that it could be anywhere between 1 to 3, but we don't even have a third, right? We just got a 1 or 2.
We got 1 or 2 or 4, 6 and a 7.
1 or 2 or 4. So somewhere in there, but also, I think trading back is definitely, could definitely happen in the cards for sure, because, we definitely going to need more picks. AP likes to have a lot of picks and likes to, play around with the draft. The draft has been his strength through his years. So I kind of really see a trade back happening, especially with us making moves to get Tunsil and still keeping that first, getting Debo for a 5th. So we still have our top 2 picks. So I think we have a little arsenal there to, make some things happen. But I mean, to kind of go back to what you were saying on the offensive line side, I wouldn't mind a signing like Becton. It's going to be, we're going to be wowed by my statement here, but I wouldn't mind bringing Scherf back. I wouldn't mind. I don't know. I mean, they talking about the Sadiq thing. I don't really know, how well, he looks, but I mean, I think he could be worth a look. I definitely think it's a few linemen out there that's definitely, you can take a look at and bring them in, specifically interior linemen, and we do it like that. That way, you don't have to put Coleman at guard. You can put him at that right tackle, and we can just kind of move into that left guard thing. But I also saw, scenarios where, like they said, Tunsil at the left tackle, maybe moving Allegretti to the right guard and keeping Wiley out there, or putting Wiley at guard. So it's been a lot of movement around that, but they definitely been talking about how AP specifically said they're going to reevaluate the offensive line yearly, and they're going to put the best 5 out there. So having that versatility is key. So I definitely expect some moves to be made there.
And this guy, the same guy that Scherf was my man, that this, that, and the third.
Man.
Y'all go back in the files on Reedy and Z on our page. Back in however many years ago, when Scherf was all pro, he was singing "For Getting Him Out of Here." Now you want and Scherf is a guy that you want to sign. What?
I mean, at this point, we need a guard. You know what I mean? Of what's left, I think he's one of the better ones. So
of what's left, yeah. At the guard, he's probably, because I'm looking on Sport Track now. They're at guard. It's guys like, well, I take that back. Will Fries is already gone.
Yeah, he's
why? Yeah, a lot of these guys are already gone. Brandon Scherf, Shaq Mason, Will Hernandez, Nate Herbig, Mekhi Becton would be number 1 on my board. He's also like one of the youngest on here at 25.
4 guys.
Dalton Risner I'd bring in for a little bit. He did decent in Minnesota. Maybe give Tevin Jenkins try that out. He from Chicago, still 27. He wouldn't cost you all that much. Sheriff is gonna warrant probably a good 13 a year. He's gonna get one of those contracts, those 1 year 13 mil rentals. I mean, I would look at Becton, maybe give him a 10, give Risner an 8, something like that. But it's not all great in guard land and free agency. So at this rate, it's kind of take your pick and figure it out from there.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, in a scenario like right now where we need a guard, I mean, hey, bring him in. And when I was saying, how I felt about Scherf, he came off having them solid years, all pro at the time. At that time, I didn't really appreciate all pros. I can admit that. But I definitely was telling Reedy, I felt that Scherf, I think they franchised him and then they offered him a deal and he turned it down. And he was just, I felt like he ain't had no loyalty to us. Reedy.
Well, I don't even know his loyalty to us. I think he was fed up with Dan and Ron not giving loyalty to players.
Potentially, yeah, that could have been something deep into it that I didn't, wasn't aware about. But I definitely was saying, well, let him move on. So when he left, he went to Jacksonville. I think he ended up getting hurt. He'd had a solid year, but I think he got hurt like another year in there. But shit, hey, bring him back. Yeah. I mean, he can be a left guard or be the right guard until Cosme get back and figure it out and then be a depth guy or something. I don't know, but he's one of the better of the crop that's left. Wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
But I mean, how y'all feeling about the conversation continues to come up with this wide receivers. I mean, we still haven't made any other signings there as of right now. It's Terry, Debo, Luke,
and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. What we gonna do?
And Kaz Allen on a practice squad.
Yeah, so I'm trying to remain calm and cordial during this thing. I'm not trying to have the knee-jerk reactions that most Commanders fans have when things don't go our way in free agency. But I do believe that they will go out and do something. I just don't know what it's going to be. But I'm on the record. I say I'm a firm believer in the more weapons you have, the better your offense is going to be, because injuries happen every day. It could be something that happens, and you don't want to be in that situation where you don't have somebody in your building and then there's nobody out there. We've seen that last year. What happened when we were trying to go there was nobody out there and we had to settle for Noah Brown. I hear a lot of people out there saying that they want to bring back Noah Brown, Alama Zacchaeus, and Jamison Crowder. But I mean, really, I feel like we need somebody that moves the needle and gives us a little bit more production at this time. Now, if you do want to fill the back end of your roster, so we have 3 receivers. They're probably going to keep 6 to 7 receivers anyway.
Yeah.
Then you go and you sign a JC. You go and you sign a Alama Zacchaeus. And don't get me wrong, Zacchaeus did some good things, but I don't think that that's a guy that we look to, bring back here. Like we're in a rush to sign him because I don't really think that he has a market all like that.
No, he won a market, but he was the second best wide receiver position in Washington.
Yeah, he was the second best wide receiver position. I don't think that was by
design.
It was by because he's good. I think it's just by default because we didn't have anybody else. Like, where else are you going to go with you got to go somewhere with the football. Mm-hmm. You can't go to Terry every single play. So I'm a firm believer in that there's guys out there. Like, people don't like the idea of bringing in a Cooper Kupp. A lot of people, the narrative out there is that he's washed. He's lost a step. He can't take the top off of defense. He can't do this. He can't do that. People, he led this league in receptions. He led this league in pass in yards. He led this league in a lot of different categories and touchdowns. It was a few years ago, but he's always a solid contributor when he's healthy. Now, when he's hurt, he doesn't. But like, we gotta put some respect on this guy's name. Like, he is one of the better wide receivers in this league. D Hop is still getting jobs. When the last time Nuke really been good? When has Nuke really been Nuke? If we're being honest, I don't remember. He got a job. He's with the Baltimore Ravens. So we gotta stop this. That these receivers can't do this and can't do that and can't take the top off of because at the end of the day, nobody on every route, everybody's not going. It's not somebody going deep on every route. Mm-hmm. So Terry's going to take his shots deep. Debo's going to take his shots deep. I looked it up. I even looked up the 40 times. Terry ran a 4.3 coming out. Debo ran a 4.4, mm-hmm. and I think Cooper ran a 4. Cooper Kupp ran a 4.6. So he's not that but the narrative out there, somebody said he ain't running a 4.6 now. We don't know. We don't know we don't know what he could possibly be doing at this time or whatever. He was injured. So we can't keep saying that. Welcome Juan to the program. What's up, Juan?
What's going? Y'all can hear me?
What up? Yes, sir. What up?
Man, oh my God. I appreciate y'all, man, for bearing with me. I just had the craziest thing happen to me. I don't mean to interrupt, but
nah, you good.
Life, man. And then I get home, computer talking about wrong password. I'm like, I put this password in 1,000 times, and then I restart my computer, and now they tell me you need to update your software. But I appreciate y'all for bearing with me, man. I apologize again. It definitely wasn't on purpose, man.
Yeah, but we're gonna bring you up to speed, Juan. But yeah, so I mean, people just gotta put some respect on his name and some of these guys that's out there, because there's some of these sorry guys that can continuously have a job in this league. And he was one of the better receivers. Like, he may not be what you think he is, but do you really watch the tape? Do you really watch the game?
Yeah.
Like, are you going off of, because your fantasy team, he wasn't this or he wasn't that for you? That don't necessarily paint the picture.
I don't think people are saying that he don't deserve a job. I know for sure I'm not saying that. I was just saying that I don't really know if he's going to be the best fit for what we trying to do now. I'm not saying that if we got him, he wouldn't be productive. That's not what I'm saying at all. All I'm saying is that I feel like what we need is somebody to stretch the field. So if Cooper Kupp comes in here, he doesn't give us that. Now he will give us other elements that, he's solid at, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, based on what I think will be best for the squad. And unfortunately, it seems like a burner going to have to come from the draft because it's slim pickings with the receivers that's left.
Yeah,
I just got one thing I want to say. Like, we keep emphasizing this burner. What was this burner that we had last year?
That's what I'm saying. We didn't have it. So that's what I'm saying. We didn't have it. You need somebody with speed. No, we didn't have it last year, and it hurt us. But I feel like if you got Terry, great. Terry can do a lot of different things. Now you add that Debo element. Cool. You don't have to rely on Terry to run. Like when we throw in it deep, we know it's going to Terry. You want to have, another piece there so you can kind of switch it up. Otherwise, when we throw flies, it's only going to go to Terry, and they're going to defend that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Age is multiple people that can run and stretch the field.
I don't agree with
what
the
I'm
point.
saying.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't agree with the point because I feel like there's different levels of offenses, and some slower guys get behind defenses, and they're wide open. You don't necessarily have to be a burner to get a deep pass.
I remember the what was it? Zacchaeus got past the Dallas defense, and Diame threw that ball like a yard short, or that would have been like a 25-yard play.
Yeah,
but I agree. We don't have any burners, but Age is right. In situations that came up, Diame was that guy because he was the speediest guy not named Jane Daniels, but we don't have a Deshaun Jackson.
That's cap.
What other receiver
is it though?
than
Diame Brown is not as fast as Terry McLaurin. That's cap. That's cap. Stop what y'all doing, please. He is not as fast as Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin runs 4.3. He ran 4.3, and we see Terry get.
What did Diame run? Diame probably ran something similar.
Guy.
Something similar. Okay, I said somewhere in there.
Diame was 4.45.
Yeah, he's not far off, but I mean, you're saying it like it's a significant difference.
I'm just like you were talking about. What the argument is, and I'm not. And don't get it wrong. I'm not trying to say that I'm trying to advocate for Cooper Kupp. I think we should bring him in. I think I would rather probably bring in a Keenan Allen, if I'm being honest, because I like his length. No Diddy, and I just like what he's able to do. But I'm just saying, Cooper Kupp, if he came in, I wouldn't be mad because Cooper Kupp is always open. If you go back and you look at the tees, always open.
Correct. So with him, so what I'm saying is that when we run, you're saying that look at our wide receiver room. You got Terry, you got Debo, and you're saying, and we got Luke, and then you're saying, okay, if we was to get Kupp, all I'm saying is when we run streaks, or when somebody's running the 9 route, when somebody is going on a deep pass, it's going to typically be Terry. Because there's no other speedster amongst that group. At least last year, having Diame and having Terry, they was able to mix it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Diame had a bomb against the Browns. Terry caught his bombs. Diame had deep throws against the Lions and stuff like that. Diame ran those routes to open up things for the other people. He didn't get the ball a lot, but his route running and his speed helped open up things for other people. So that's all I'm saying. So if you're losing that, and if you replace it with a slower person, where you gonna get it from? You still need that speed to stretch the field to open other things up. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. So that point is taken. I totally understand you with that point. But we have 3 receivers on the roster right now, right? Luke McCaffrey, Terry McLaurin, and Debo Samuels, right? Mm-hmm. So say hypothetically you go sign a Cooper Kupp. Mm-hmm. That's 4 receivers. They're going to keep 6 to 7 receivers.
That's what I said. We have
3 more receivers out there.
We just said the other day, if they
3,
get him,
you draft a guy that's a speed. You could draft a speed guy. You could draft a guy that has a little bit more height on him. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. That's why I said the other day on the pod, I would agree with you. If we get Kupp, we need to make sure we go get a speedster. I'm not saying don't get him. I'm just saying I don't want to just settle in on just him or you know what I mean, stuff like that. But again, for what he do, we kind of already getting that. So is it really a fit or just having an extra weapon?
Are we really getting? Or do we already have? Who does what Cooper Kupp does?
Debo gonna do that. What's more?
I would hold off on that.
We can't say. Go ahead, John.
Debo Samuel and Juan, I want you to kind of get in on this too, so we don't want you to get left out. Is Cooper Kupp or not Cooper Kupp? Debo Samuel is not your traditional wide receiver. All right, I don't see a Jalen Waddle, a Terry, a CD in the backfield playing running back, blocking downfield. I don't see him doing these, half Texas routes out the backfield. Debo reminds me, oh gosh, what was his name? Oh, I can't remember his name. But he's not your traditional Cooper Kupp. If you want a route runner, thank you, Percy Harvin, one of my old Florida boys. Percy Harvin, not your traditional wide receiver, but he will bring you speed and he will bring you versatility. Cooper Kupp, you want I don't put a stereotype. The man's man wide receiver is he runs your routes, he'll cut up a defense, and he'll bring you in a pass, but he's not going to give you. Well, he could give you, 12 looks a game. But if you wanted a route runner, I go Cooper Kupp. If you want a speed, take the top off, what's left in free agency is not it. Can I interest you in a McCole Hardman? Can I interest you in an Elijah Moore? Can I interest you in a Devin Duvernay? Not much left.
Draft.
I mean, it's clearly going to come in the draft. But to recap for Juangotty, we talked a little bit about, the guys that we brung in, Ken Law. We talked about the guys that we signed today. We talked about Laramie Tunsil. We also talked about, how these guys are going to fit in with this roster. So, what are your thoughts on what happened in free agency the last 48 hours?
Yeah, man. My thoughts on the free agency is I'm allowing Adam Peters to do his job. I mean, I know this is a yearly thing for Commanders fans and NFL fans is to overreact and say, oh my God, why didn't we sign this person? Why are we letting this person go? We had talks with this person, but never did it, never made an offer, etc. We have all this money. Why are we not spending it? And I think it's just because of the big names. I don't think people actually understand what Adam Peters is doing until September, October. And they say, okay, that's why we bought in Eddie Goldman. That's why we bought in Laramie Tunsil. Well, I guess people understand that move, but more so of the low-key moves that we didn't expect or didn't have on our radar. I'm just allowing him to do his job, man. I mean, I feel like it seems like people trusted the Rivera more after the 7-9 season than they are doing this regime after NFC Championship appearance. So I'm fine with every move we have done. Would I like to have been more aggressive in certain areas? Yes, maybe cornerback, maybe receiver, but clearly Adam Peters may not view this free agency class as high as other people. Do you think we wanted Mooney Ward? Probably did, but were we willing to pay him that much money? No. Jeremy Chin, did we want him back? Potentially, but we're not giving him $16 million a year when Will Hurst comes in, making $8 million less and had significantly better production. And he's kind of ascending, if you ask me. So over the last 48 hours, every move has made sense to me. It's not big name moves, but I like every single thing that we've done. There's not a move that I sit back and say, why did we do that?
So question, Juan. Talk about the running back situation. We all kind of offered our opinions on that with the McNichols. And, now we're sitting with B-Rob. Well, the same four from last year. And one key thing about it, all of them are on one-year deals at this point. So how do you feel about moving forward with them same four? And do you think we still need to try to draft somebody?
Oh, yes, definitely for me. One, I didn't think Jeremy McNichols was going to come back here. Now, I get it. The Bengals game, he had a really good block. Other games, the Falcons games, he had a really good play. Like, he's had plays in spurts. But after that Eagles, game, and that's not fair to let a big play like that overshadow his production here. I just didn't think he was going to be back. I still think we should address the running back position. I did not expect us to do anything in free agency. It's always been draft for me. So it doesn't necessarily surprise me that we haven't looked at the running back position in free agency. Now bringing the same four guys back is a little surprising, but again, we have 90 people we can bring to camp. So why not at least give yourself the cushion to have somebody that's familiar around, like a Jeremy McNichols, like a Chris Rodriguez, to bring them around, at least to camp to see what they can do and if they can make the roster. They don't have to necessarily make the 53-man roster. And I'm already knowing Chris Rodriguez, worst case scenario, is going to be a practice squad guy. So I definitely still think running back is a high priority on this list. I still want one out of the draft. But having all four of those guys back, similar to the tight end position, it's nothing negative that comes from it, because again, 90 bodies are going to show up to camp come July.
So what are the new rules? Because I know at COVID there was rules on how many. Before that, it was rules that you can only be on a practice squad for a certain amount of years. Like Chris Rodriguez, he's basically started the season on the practice squad every year he's been here. So he's been in the league 5 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's unlimited now. You can put vets on. Yeah, you can put 10, 15-year vets on the practice squad now. Yeah, it don't matter no more.
Okay.
Chris Rodriguez is only his like third season. 2025 will be his third season. 25 will be his third season because he was drafted and he was
2022.
No, he 6th round out of
that was
Air
the Manuel
Force.
Forbes. That was the
It was
Manuel
that Forbes draft because he was out of Air Force.
2022.
Yeah.
Damn, he seemed like
Rodriguez is out of Air Force.
No, he's out of Kentucky. He's out of Kentucky.
Oh yeah, Kentucky. Thank you. Yeah, Kentucky. Yeah, round 6, pick 193. He was like, I think the last pick of that draft for us, or he was the second to last pick. I think we had a 7th that year, but yeah, he was at Rodriguez. He was at a Forbes class.
So what are y'all? Let me ask y'all. What's y'all sentiments on, now that we these draft picks at this point, we had 5 draft picks. So do we draft back at 29? We go back to say 35, 36 and try to get 2 picks out of that, and at 61 we go back there again to try to get some of those middle round picks, or we just hold and we draft? Because in the comments they're saying that we got to hit on 29. That's what they're saying. Redskins 301 says we got to hit at 29. We can't trade out. What do y'all think? At Redskins 29, Redskins 301. Let me tell me why do you say that?
Yeah, man, I'll start. I think you got to have the feel of the board. That has always been my process. But again, I always make this reference because I hope and pray we don't go down the same mistaken path. In the past, we've reached for players of need in the draft instead of just drafting with best player available at that time. Especially the way we've addressed free agency, filling some of the holes that we necessarily don't need to fill in the draft now. I think you sit at 29 and see what's there and do what's best for you. If what's at 29 isn't, appealing to you, yeah, of course, trade back. I would love to get more picks, and I'm sure Adam Peters does too. But the way he's trading these picks, man, it is a little surprising given the fact that he had this whole notion that he builds through the draft. So trading a lot of these picks away, maybe he doesn't view this draft as highly as other people. I'm not really sure because the 2026 draft, people are already talking about that, and trying to stack up on the 2026 draft. So for me personally, if I was in charge, I would assess the board, have everything open. With like, I know we already addressed the whole tight end position, but Colston Loveland's another name that was tied to Denver. Denver just got Evan Ingram. Like, if you genuinely think, even though we have all our tight ends back, if you think Colston Loveland is the best player at 29 right now, and you feel comfortable in bringing in Colston Loveland, do it. Like, if Amarion Hampton is there at 29, do what you feel is best. But I definitely understand 5 picks is slight, and that is a little bit concerning unless, again, we don't think this draft class is high in the position that we want.
Yeah. I agree. Go ahead, John.
No, all I was going to point out is we have the second least amount of picks. We have 5. Minnesota has 4.
Yeah, I agree. You definitely do what's best at that trade. At that moment. If trading back is what's best in that moment, I say trade back. I would definitely love to trade back at some point in the draft, though, to get some more picks so you can get some more rookies in here. AP can do his thing day 2, day 3, or something like that. So kind of just rejuvenates and replenish some of these, picks that we've traded away and, go from there. But, that first 29th pick, yeah, whatever's the best thing to do at that point, you got to do it. What you thinking, Reedy?
I'm a firm believer in take the best available. At that point in time, if you feel like you got a second, third round grade on guys that's right there, then you trade back. That's what your board tell you. Like you said before, like everybody said, like Juan said, whatever your board dictates. But if you got a guy that's Simpson, he's the best available. Just like last year when Johnny Newton was sitting there, he was the best available at right there, so they took him. So I'm a firm believer in that. Take the best available. You don't draft for need. It's always going to be needs. It's always going to be holes. It's never going to be a perfect roster. I'm pretty sure Philadelphia would say that with how perfect their roster was. I'm pretty sure that they'll say that they had some glaring holes on their roster too that they didn't think was going to do X, Y, Z. So I'm a firm believer in take best available.
Respect. So how you feel about the Jonathan Jones signing?
I think Jonathan Jones is an absolute dog. If you go look at the and I gotta stop saying that because we throw this dog terminology around too loosely.
We do.
Like I think he's a great player. He will come up, he will hit you. He did a lot of good things with the Patriots. Now there are some times that I've seen him get cooked. So excuse me. We're not going to gloss over that. But that's just like any other defensive back. You're going to get beat here and there, because that's what comes with playing the position. But I thought it definitely was a good pickup, and for $6 million, it definitely is great. And going back to that, I thought that we've done a great job managing this cap and not overpaying. The only thing I kind of think we overpaid for was the Kinlaw, but under further investigation, we had the out in year 3. So, like we said before, I've mentioned on the show that it may be more of a team friendly deal, but given the market for defensive tackles and what others got, that might have been a good price.
So for me, the Jonathan Jones move at first, I was all over. I was excited about it. I know a lot of people was getting them confused with Jonathan Joseph, which was a little funny because he hasn't played in so long. But I'm talking about, I think number 24 from Houston, like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people was getting them confused with him. But when I immediately saw this trade, this signing, I was excited about it because they finally addressed the cornerback room. Although y'all know me, I'm a firm believer in Noah, Mikey, and Marshawn as my starters. I'm fine with that, but everybody else wants them to address the cornerback room. So I was more so happy for everyone else, I guess, for them to at least do something. But then after looking into the move more, he's small, he's 5'9", he's more so a nickel. I think he's 5'9", 185 is what I was hearing. And I don't necessarily know if this just means depth or if this is your starting nickel and then Mikey Sanders still is outside. And if that is, I'm cheesing from it because y'all, like I said before, Mikey, I don't care how undersized he is. I like him on the outside. He showed a lot last year. For an undersized corner, whatever you say, he does a dang good job on the outside. Now, again, I don't know if this is just a depth move. Now, considering the fact that he is coming off of a season in which he was getting abused, and he played a lot of his snaps on the boundary corner position, which may not bode well for him. He may be more so of a nickel. But why haven't we re-signed Noah Igbenogany yet? That is a little bit concerning to me. That may show you that they may not want him back, and this could be the move to replace him. If that's the case, I'm all for it because at the end of the day, I like my 2 boundary corners the way we are. Like I get it, and y'all can probably speak to it better than me. But everyone wants this 6'2", 6'3", 6'1" corner because CeeDee Lamb and AJ Brown and Malik Neighbors is in the division, which is understandable. But hey, man, I always live. I live by heart over. What is it? Heart over height or heart over something? As long as you got heart on you, bro, I don't care what height you is. Just ask Darrell Reeves. And I don't mean to throw his name around so loosely, but that's just the best comparison I can make at this moment. So
sure. Cool. Jonathan Jones is 5'9", 185 according to ESPN.
Yeah.
I mean, people are asking, not to cut you off, Z, I'm sorry, but people are asking, would we rather go out? Do you think we would go out and bring in a Jair Alexander from Green Bay, who's on a trade market at this time?
Absolutely.
I would say I would, but I feel like it depends on the money and what you got to give up. I still think they're still in on the pass rusher from Cincinnati, so that's why we kind of haven't been really seeing too much. I don't really think AP cares about these draft picks, to be honest.
Probably not.
I think that and what all of these pundits are saying all over, I think that we are. But what we did last year, I think that they're in. Why not? Why not take a shot? Figure it out. I feel like he wants to, like us as fans, we kind of like want to solidify this thing for 2 to 3 years. But I feel like AP and them, they're like, we're going to wing it every year. We're going to figure this out every year, and we're going to try to put the best team we can put on the field together for this year, and then figure it out the next year. Instead of trying to plan for the future, and we're going to see what we can get in these next 4 seasons, and if we can strike lightning in the bottle again, we're going to roll the dice. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like they're doing.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I like that. I like that.
I like that. Yes, and I think with what Cincinnati wants for Trey Hendrickson, they want a first and some extra picks. They want a haul for Henderson. Now it's warranted. I just don't know if I would give up 29 and like a third next year type of thing. I would give up 62 or 61 and something else. I don't know if I would give up 29 and more, because do you trade back from 61? In that case, you've lost a good amount of value for the day. I might roll the dice and say, if I'll give you 61, a third next year, and we don't even have the depth to trade a player. And if they say no, then I would look at this is a really good edge class, all things considered. I found guys on day 2 to day 3 that could all be rotational pieces because we're a rotational defensive line. I feel that's one of the strengths and disadvantages we had in the run game is we were rotating guys in and out all the time. So there wasn't a solidified 1 and 2. It was here's A, B, and C kind of thing. So I would love Hendrickson, but I think after the Tunsil trade, that slowly backed us out of that Hendrickson move, considering it's between us and like the Packers. They've got much more capital on both sides of the ball, and he would be the solidified 1 there, which would help them. I mean, maybe it's a land either way.
Yeah. So what else we got?
And just to carry on Juan's last point about the Noah Iguodala thing, I feel like he's a guy that they're letting him see what his market is, and I feel like they're going to double back depending on what happens. I just feel like they're trying to upgrade. No slight to Noah. I know I played really good last year. I'm the guy that said bring him back. I think we should bring him back, but I feel like we don't necessarily really know what we're going to get out of 23. So I feel like they want contingency plans just in case something happens or there's an injury or something like that. So you have to try to upgrade the position if you can. I mean, defensive back, safety on the back end safety. I think they might look to a Justin Simmons or somebody else on the back end, because just on Twitter and hearing what everybody's saying, people don't have confidence in Quad Martin. I thought he did a serviceable job back there, but I thought he was a little bit late. A couple of instances back there in his reaction. Like he's not quite yet seeing it totally like he should be seeing it.
Mm-hmm. But also a pick 6 in the playoffs really helps.
Yeah, but you know,
what was that slant? What was that in that end zone? Was that a slant? Who was that against?
It was a slant to Mike Evans.
Yeah, Mike Evans. That's what it
was. He just ain't turned his head around. He turned his head around.
Back.
Like, he's right there. Yeah, he just stepped to it 6. That's a pick 6.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I want Marshawn. I mean, I want Justin Simmons. He wants to come here. And that's the thing too. Like deep down inside, of course, I want the big names. Like, oh my God, Jair Alexander, Justin Simmons, Devontae Adams. Like, what the heck? Like, oh my, like I would love that. But the reality of the situation, it doesn't seem like our general manager is just in that field. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like there's no way Justin Simmons is still sitting there and no one is. I'm not gonna say no one's interested, but we haven't heard anything about Washington being linked to him besides him coming out saying he wants to play for us. But who doesn't want to play for us?
Fact.
So I say that to say, like, those are the guys that we all want. But the reality is we're probably going to end up signing, if we do sign another safety or another corner, it's going to be something like this. Like Javon Holland was another guy that a lot of people wanted. We got Will Hurst instead. Like, you know, like we're going back to your point earlier, Reedy, about this being a 1 year, every single year kind of thing. I've never experienced that. Like, and this may be a good thing. Like, this genuinely may be a good thing. Like, and not to get off topic, but I was earlier today talking to a Panthers fan, who knows about our team though. But he was talking about, look, I was telling him how like everyone was upset with free agency because we're not going out signing the big names. He was like, well, look, that's what Snyder did, signed all the big names and gave a big money to everybody. Oh, we got D on this, D on that, and look how it ended up, So we have a more patient owner and we have a more patient general manager that ain't just gonna fly off the handle and pay all these big names this much money. Like that's why I'm probably, I won't say out of the loop on it, but kind of like not up to speed, I would say, because I'm looking at Devontae Adams like, hey, yeah, maybe 2 years, 15, like, you know what I'm saying? But then I look, he got 20 something like per year, or like 20 in total, something like that for 2 years. But I say that to say I like what we're doing, and I think what you said, Reedy, is a good way to go about it, because I don't think we've ever done this. At least in my lifetime, we've never took it year by year. Of course, you're gonna lock up the Jaden Daniels, the Terry McLaurins, the all the key guys. But as far as like year in and year out, like a De'Ami Brown, we wanted him back, but clearly they didn't value him that much to let him go to Jacksonville. They could have paid him $12 million, but they probably we could replace you. Jeremy Chin, I'm sure they wanted him back, but clearly we got a better person than Will Hurst for cheaper. So that may be the route that we're going down, and I'm all for it. A yearly change.
Because I mean, on any team, you have your core guys, then you have your expendable guys. Like they're your guys. They might be, a good player, but they're an average player, they're a mediocre player. So you can go out and get that same production that you would have got and pay less. We're seeing it. You go out and get a Jonathan Jones for you don't pay. So Holland, he got a great deal. So did we want to pay that? We went out and got some, not saying we got somebody else, but we probably going to end up paying less. I think they're trying to just nickel and dime this thing
bargain
every
deal.
year. What'd you say?
I said bargain deal.
Yeah, they're trying to bargain every year. I mean, then you get your big names, but if they have a chance to sign Hendricks, you think they're not going to sign him? You think they're not going to give Terry McLaurin top dollar? They are.
True. Yeah, Javon got a good 3 years, 45 with 30 guarantee. He got what we gave Kinlaw, 3 years, 45 with 15 guaranteed.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's just with 15 guaranteed. They got Paulson Adebo for 354 for 38 guaranteed. So they got their locked. They got a good new corner and their new safety for, I think, a combined 30. I say 45 for 3 years. Not even 70 a year guaranteed.
But that's the thing too, right? And I'm not trying to take no shots at Paulson Adebo, but like you're giving Paulson Adebo 3 years, $54 million. Like I'm hoping Javon Kinlaw works out. I'm hoping he is. When I saw the contract initially, I wasn't like upset about it because I knew we had the money for it. But that's not the kind of person I would expect to give 3 years, $45 million to. Now,
and he was the first guy.
Yeah, now deep diving into what he may bring as far as versatility and the size. Okay, I'm all for hoping he turns out to be, live up to that contract. But that's the thing. That's why I feel like it's a gift and a curse that every year the money goes up, because 3 years ago, these guys that's signing this big money for these big contracts wouldn't even get that a couple years ago. They just have to sign a 1 year prove it deal. Like Dre Greenlaw coming off of a major injury, got the bag. Morgan Moses, love Mo to death. Older, still got the bag. Like a lot of these players are getting a lot of money regardless of the stage of their career. And it seems like Adam Peters is moving in the opposite direction or dynamic. And someone just said it, like he's moving like Howie Roseman, which is maybe the comparison, because think about Zach Bond. He was just on the practice squad last year, has a breakout year, then he gets his bag. So maybe we're moving like, okay, Will Hurst, you're on a way. No, he's on a 2 year deal, so he's not necessarily him, but let's just go with who's a 1 year deal. Let's just go with Eddie Goldman or somebody like that.
Dietrich Wise on a 1 year deal.
Somebody like that. Like let's just go with somebody like that. Like initially now, Dietrich Wise, we're like, what the heck is this move? Then you get back and then you get to November time. It's like, oh my God, Dietrich Wise is a nice rotational piece off the bench for the D line. Then next year he gets his 2 year, 3 year deal contract, and it makes sense now because you like, okay, we see what he did last year, so it makes sense. Kind of like Zach Bond. Like, granted, no one expected Zach Bond to blow up the way he did. He absolutely balled. But essentially, what I'm saying is, I'm sure Eagles fans didn't know who the hell Zach Bond was prior to the year he absolutely exploded. So I like the way we're moving. If it's a year by year basis instead of just feeding feeding 3-year, 4-year contracts. That's what we done in the past, man, and that just hasn't worked out. I'm sure Ron Rivera did it too. I'm sure if we put thoughts to paper, we would find some guys that he gave long-term contracts to, and it's like looking back on, it's like, why would you even do that?
Ironically, you say that we gave out, big contracts. Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen got big contracts after contract needed years and fell off the map.
Javon Kinlaw too, though.
Here's the funny thing: Javon Kinlaw had half a sack more than Deron Payne did this season.
For me, though, and I'm not even trying to take no shots at Jay because I love him for what he did here.
Oh, yeah.
The Deron Payne signing makes sense. 11.5 sacks, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Jonathan Allen, for me, he never had that. It was always 7.5, capped out at 9. So the year he did get paid, I think it was more so of this is one of the faces of the franchise. He speaks for the team. You know what I'm saying? Anytime there's a commander's interview, we're always sending Jonathan Allen out there. I'm not gonna say it was never his play, but you can't even sit up here and tell me an iconic moment that you were remembering from Jonathan Allen outside of him in the locker room with his do-rag on, talking about, you know what I'm saying, how upset he is about the team, and he's pissed. But you ain't going. You tell me a play by Ryan Kerrigan, you got 100. You got to play for Terry McLaurin, you got 100. Jaden Daniels only been hit 1 year. You got iconic plays on plays. Those are the plays that you sign long term. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. The more we talk. Like, the more we're talking, the more I'm understanding Adam Peters' philosophy. It's like, and I love it, man. I love it, bro. Make these guys earn their contracts. Don't just give it to them. Like, again, and I'm not trying to downplay what the Giants is doing. They are making upgrades, but I bet they regret not paying Xavier McKinney. Now this seems like a makeup for that. Oh, we missed out on Xavier McKinney. We got to go out and find a replacement. Javon Holland said, I prioritize winning, but ends up signing a bag with the Giants. Paulson Adebo again. I can't even, and I'm not trying to. I promise I'm not trying to downplay what he's done in New Orleans. But how the hell did Paulson Adebo manage to cash in? I guess because it's the Giants. But that's all I'm saying.
I got a question for you, Juan. So you're talking about contracts and money, and you're talking about New Orleans. Your boy got 3 years, $51 million. How you feeling about it? You was definitely screaming, "Go get him!" How you feel about that?
3 years, $51 million. That remind me of who we talking about. It's been a lot that has
99 in your program.
Oh, Chase Young.
Oh, Chase Young.
Oh yeah, I did see that. I ain't gonna lie. When I saw that, that's my main. That just added to my point. 2 years ago, these guys would not be getting these kind of deals. It's just the money's, I guess, is fluctuating up. So guys like Chase Young is getting 3 years, 51. What the hell has he done outside of his rookie year to get 3 years, $51 million, bro?
I got a text yesterday from my wife. Pictures. She was out at the shopping center getting whatever. And he's from Upper Marlboro, so she sends a picture. Is this Chase Young? I look at the picture and I zoom in. I'm like, yeah, that's him. So she like, yeah, I'm out in the shopping center, standing right here. He just left out of UPS or whatever. He must have just mailed off. I said, well, he just got that bag. He must have just mailed off his contract. So I called Reedy. I'm like, did you hear the breaking news? And he like, well, what breaking news? I'm like, Chase Young to the Commanders. And he was like, nah, fuck that. He just signed with the Saints. But at that point, I didn't really know that he signed with the Saints. So I was trying to fuck with his head, but he was already on it. But when I saw that bag that he got, I'm like, 51 million. Like, what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I get it. I understand that's how the NFL sports world works. Like, the money's gonna always go up, but 104 million for Million Williams, bro. Like, I know he was good, but like, what is going on? And that's why, like, again, the more we're talking, it's making sense of what Adam Peters is doing. He's not like 3 years, $45 million for Javon Kinlaw is a lot of money. But I'd much rather that than for Milton Williams. Like a lot of people was commenting, go get Josh Sweat. I said, no, I do not want Josh Sweat. I do not want to overpay for a team, overpay for Josh Sweat. I literally just talked to an Eagles fan today. He's like, yeah, man. Josh Sweat, man, outside of this postseason year, he had 11 sacks 1 year, but this was like his best, his best ball. The last time he was in a Super Bowl, he ain't really show up like that. And that's my thing. I want consistency. Like Josh Sweat may be solid, but he's not all that. And Arizona gave him the money, and rightfully so. Go get your bag. But man, I love our GM, bro. I like.
Mm-hmm. You know what's crazy? No, go ahead. Finish that statement.
I was just gonna say Ron Rivera would have paid Chase Young that 3 years, $51 million, man. He would have gave that to him, and he would have missed 28 games.
I think Riddick signed somewhere. Didn't Riddick sign with somebody?
No, he hasn't signed yet.
I thought I saw that he signed with somebody.
I don't think so. So Chase Young got that 3 year, $51 million. He'll make like 17 a year. There is like no guaranteed money on that contract.
No, I thought he got like 30 something. He got like
every place on ESPN hasn't said anything about it. Sport Track says nothing about it. Everyone is
money.
He has some guarantees, but everywhere I'm looking has him with no guaranteed dollars.
Well, if that's the case, then they had to find a way to do that. Then they couldn't give him 51 million and some of it guaranteed. They had to say, "Now you gotta work for some." Because, and that's the thing too. They're in cap hell. So
the Saints had bag this year.
No, Saints have like coming into the season. They were
making some moves though.
The cap space is a myth. Let's be honest. Cap space is a myth.
Yeah, you can finagle the cap space. Everybody.
Have you seen the Bears?
I feel like they signed like three guys, and this was day one.
I'll pull them up. Real quick. But the Saints coming into the season were
across the screen making moves.
The Saints coming into the season were $60 million under the cap.
But they cleared some money on Derek Carr's restructure, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, they definitely cleared that, but that was only saved them like
I think
10,
Honey
15
Badger
million.
I think Honey Badger might have restructured too. I saw his name come across.
Signed with the Saints, Chase Young, Jawan Johnson was a re-sign, Dante Pettis was a re-sign, and Justin Reed. Justin Reed got 3 years.
Yeah, Justin
31 with 22 and a quarter guaranteed. Yeah, Chase Young, for whatever reason, to Sport Truck to ESPN, 3 years, 51 mil, 0 guarantee.
Damn, he signed that deal with no guarantee money.
He burnt, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Now I ain't gonna lie. At first, I'm like, I guess it makes sense for the Saints' behalf. Then it's like, shoot, you sustain some type of injury, falling down the steps, man, you gone, bro. Like, dang, he got being bubble wrapped for 3 years now.
I'm telling you,
man. But yeah, Hassan Reddick is
I thought I saw he got signed, but nah, he didn't.
Nah, he's still out there.
I think last year really hurt him though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, for sure.
Not playing. I know it backfired on him, man. I ain't gonna say he should have played. Make your mind. Do you? But like it didn't work out.
He cost himself millions.
Yeah.
Is Fowler's point validated or not?
I know. Dante Fowler pissing me off. I ain't gonna lie. Because it only pisses me off because if it didn't come out that we offered him a contract, I probably wouldn't be tripping. But the fact that you turned down $10 million a year, bro, what have you done consistently? Like thank you for what you did. You were really good last year, but you're a rotational pass rusher to me. If you can get 10 sacks in 3 consecutive years, cool. All right, get your bag. But before this season, let me actually I could pull up his stats right now. But before that, I don't think he had a double-digit sack season for like 5 years, bro. Like, I don't know, but he and then De'Ami Brown had the nerve to retweet.
Yeah, he
an instigator.
De'Ami got his bag. He got his 10 to 12 million.
Like they I don't know what I don't know, man.
Dante Fowler.
Thank you for your service.
look.
So Dante Fowler had 10.5 sacks last year. Before that, he hasn't recorded a double-digit sack season since 2019. And then before that, he's only had 2 double-digit sack seasons, and they come 5 years apart, 5-6 years apart. So it's like, and you're 30.
On his second team, so it went Jacksonville, Rams, Falcons, Dallas, us. So in the second and fifth team he's on, he decides to have more than 10.5 sacks. Everywhere else, 4, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4.5, 6, 4. these are Deron Pay numbers.
Yeah, and that's the thing again that I love. Like really, again, bringing up the point. Like I think the way we operate, we kind of this. You know what we did? The one thing Ron Rivera did good, and not that he could imagine that, but we got that good year out of Ronald Darby, and everybody was like, "Resign Ronald Darby, resign Ronald Darby," and we were so shocked that we didn't do it. What has Ronald Darby done now? Nothing.
Oh.
So essentially, what I'm saying is, we see the way we're operating. It seems as if we're just exerting these guys for their one good year and letting them get their bag elsewhere if they do end up getting a long-term contract, because in the past, it would be the opposite. We would be so quick to pay these guys and then get upset when they don't produce, i.e. Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne. Not saying that they didn't deserve their money, because at the time, who else did we have to pay for it? But now that like we are under different management, like it's just the changing of the guard, man. I wanted Dante Fowler back, but shoot, bro, if you're gonna turn down $10 million, I mean, how much more you think you getting, bro? You ain't Myles Garrett, bro. Like, you not get $40 million a year, bro.
And hey, I was almost. Go ahead, Z.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, is he even going at this point? Shit, is he gonna get $10 million elsewhere?
In this market, I don't think so.
Yeah, he might have to come back for $7 million now.
Shit.
Go ahead, Reedy. What you about to say?
No, but what I was going to say was, I text Z. I'm like, did we tamper with the Ronnie Staley situation and Baltimore lineman? I'm looking around the internet. They like, oh, tampering, and I'm like, what? Because it came out that he was willing to, before we went and got Laramie Tunsil, we was willing to give up $24 million for him. And I'm like, oh, he hit free agency, so that is tampering. Then they came out later today and was like, oh, it was just known. It was known that the Washington Commanders were.
Look, Albert Breer starting rumors, man.
Yeah, but also we haven't had any information leaked from our front office on our team or anything. So that just lets you know somebody made that shit up.
But in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, so that's what we doing, AP? So now we like, I was trying to find a reason to get mad at something.
This what we doing now?
Because it ain't shit to be mad at, but I had to reel that shit back in real quick. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on it.
But I had the same thought when I saw it. I'm like, damn, why are they talking about that? Like, who said that? Like, and when Reedy texted me, I'm like, man, I was thinking the same shit, bro. Like, they really trying to put us out there. That and tampering, the penalty for tampering, what? You lose a pick?
You can lose a pick.
Yeah, we already ain't getting no compensatory, so shit.
This year, yeah. I mean, what was I think the Miami lost a first round pick when they tampered with Brady. It was like a first round pick.
Damn. So
we would have probably lost a second or a third with Stanley, considering his market value. But all I know, and all y'all gonna be happy, the chat's gonna be happy. Same flag, same group 8 as a part of the charters. He ain't part of our team.
I know I was late, but have we covered like everything, like all the signings for us, or not?
We didn't go over the last few signings. We kind of covered the major signings, the Laramie Tunsil trade, the Javon Kinlaw situation,
Debo,
Jonathan Jones, the Debos. But we didn't cover how you guys feeling about the re-signings of the guys that we did bring back in free agency. We touched on the Jeremy McNichols a little bit, but the other guys, like, what are your guys' sentiments on that? How y'all feeling? I'm gonna just start off. I was a little pissed off that they didn't sign the punter Tress Way a little bit sooner. And then you sign him to a 1-year deal. I'm like, put some respect on his name. He's one of the better punters in this league. I thought you could at least gave him a 3-year deal. For even I mean, you signed Bates to a 3-year deal, a blocking tight end, and I don't want to diminish a blocking tight end because they are definitely needed in the type of offense that we run. But at the same time, I just feel like, damn, where's the loyalty to Trask? He's been around for years and years and years, and he's probably going to retire a Commander / Redskin, Washington football team, whatever you want to call him. So I was a little taken back by that. I thought we would go out and maybe bring in another middle linebacker. I thought that they would definitely sign Bobby Wagner for his what he brings in the locker room, and he can still play at a high level. But I just feel like we need another linebacker that can run sideline to sideline that gives you a little bit more speed, a little bit more burst. And then also the Zach Ertz situation. I didn't think that we were going to roll with the same tight ends. To Juan's point, if you go out and you're able to draft a guy at 29, say that tight end is sitting there, you have to, because I feel like we didn't get better at tight end. I mean, yeah, everybody wants to sit around and say that Zach Ertz is Jada Daniels' safety blanket, but Zach Ertz is slow as shit. And I'm just calling a spade a spade. He's what? Yeah. His 13th season he's going into.
That's why I said Ben Sinnott he got to step up.
Ben Sinnott, yeah.
So
you got to.
That was a little bit telling to me. And then I didn't think we were absolutely under no circumstances going with the same exact running back group. When they re-signed McNichols, I was just like, wow. Like for all of that, you could have went out and got a Miles Sanders or somebody. He upgrades your room a little bit.
Don't you dare say Miles Sanders. I'm
just saying. You could have got him. You could have got anybody. But, I mean, that's just my thoughts. But what do you guys think?
I mean, I first want to go back to John and address Benjamin St. Juice because we jumped over that, my fault. But I mean, look, BSJ, man, just realistically speaking, wish him the best. Hopefully he goes to LA. And that's the thing too about our corners always seem to go somewhere else and be better. He has the physicality and physical traits of a good corner. It's just mental.
Yeah.
So hopefully he goes to Cali and he gets better or whatever. But moving to our signings, the ones that we are talking about now, I definitely feel like with the tight end position specifically, like we didn't get any better, and it kind of, I won't say disappointed me, but it kind of just make me think they need Ben Sinnott to really step up, because it's not like you sign what you did with other guys and you can cut them in training camp. No, John Bates is a 3-year deal. He's going to be here. Zach Ertz was too valuable to the offense last year. He's going to be here. His 1-year deal is a secure 1-year deal, similar to Bobby Wagner. And Ben Sinnott obviously is going to be here for multiple years. So are you telling me that you're fine with those three? Are you telling me Kosa and Yankov is about to go crazy and you know what I'm saying? Or, like, what are we doing? Like, I love what Zach Ertz did. But again, I want him to be here for the long haul of the season. So I don't want him to. If he gives me 600 yards again this year, cool. But I don't want him to have to be the second leading receiver again. I don't want to have to rely on Zach Ertz as much as we did last year. Not because I don't think he can do it, but he's 34. We want him around for the whole season healthy. Mm-hmm. So I definitely think we should still add more there, and it's hopefully Ben Sinnott is ready to step up. You know what I'm saying? The same with, like I was gonna say to Reedy. Jordan McGee, man, that's another sideline. He stay healthy. I'm telling you, he stay healthy. He's going to be it. He showed the flashes. I mean, what you could get Michael Walker. You could have kept Michael Walker, even though he just signed something. But trust and believe, you saw the immediate downgrade once Jordan McGee got hurt and he had to go back.
I can see Juan at training camp now, glazed.
Me and Juan been like, "Yo, Jordan."
Hey, go ahead.
Nah,
we're gonna revisit this. Come
I'm just saying, because who you want, CJ Mosley? Like, what's up? Like, who the other options? I mean, you could go to the draft, but Jordan McGee is supposed to be the Jerry Greenlaw of this team, and it's too early to judge him. But the small flashes that he's seen gives you that explosion that you want from a linebacker. Not named Frankie Louisville. I mean, you say Bobby Wagner can't do it no more. Shit, I still think he can.
I'm not saying he can't do it no more, but I'm just saying, like, he doesn't move like he used to move.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, you got these backs that can, like Saquon Barkley, these Bucky Irvins that can hit the hole, and I'm out of there. Like, we need somebody that could chase them down. Like, y'all remember how Luke Kuechly used to just come out of nowhere? Like, I need a linebacker like that. Like, Bobby Wagner is still serviceable. He's still giving you quality snaps, but Bobby Wagner isn't the same player that he was once before.
Luke Kuechly was on par. Like, he was on pace for what Ray Lewis did in the early 2000s. He was on pace before he retired early.
By the way, Jordan McGee's 40 time was a 4.5. So if Bucky Irvin is that kind of guy you want to chase down, or you want to chase down Saquon Barkley,
McGee got it.
Like, I mean, and then oh my god, did y'all see the hit Will Hurst put on Tyler Algier? Like, that is what we, bro. I and not to go all back to that, but I kind of forgot because the season ended 2 months ago. How poor we was tackling in the secondary. Like, as much as I love Jeremy Chin and he was supposed to be this tackling machine, good lord, we was getting killed. That ain't happening with Will Hurst, man. So I'm fine with our linebackers.
Two other guys I want to give a little spotlight to, who I think might take a big step up this season, who are really on the roster, who they brought in.
Tyler Owens.
Hampton and Tyler Owens. Thank you. Dom Hampton, Tyler Owens. Me and Rio talked about it like 2 weeks after the draft happened, because I got this reel keeps getting likes on TikTok and Instagram. Shout out to all the Burgundy ballers. Is Rio called him a creative player. 6'3", ran like a 4'4", got as you know, Reedy said, the size you need at strong safety. He's got everything you want. He was a special teams dog in the preseason, doing what you pointed out earlier. I'm calling you out on it.
Hold up, I pause. Time out. I ain't say nothing. That's diabolical. Really ain't saying nothing like that about no man having no size. No diddy, no. That's cap, John. You said that shit. Stand on business. Stand 10 toes down, John.
I did say it earlier too. So I'll go back and say that. But no, but at 6'3", you wouldn't want that, and he can run too. You wouldn't want that as a strong safety or free safety rotation piece behind Will Harris and then Dom Hampton. The strong safety moved to linebacker after he got drafted. He's got the same traits you want in a linebacker. So I think learning from Chin, you're gonna learn from Harris, linebackers. You're gonna learn from Wagner and learn from Luvu is gonna make them better. And with Wagner on this 1-year deal, if he retires, he's gotten 2 years under his belt of, all right, I just learned from this Hall of Fame linebacker. Let me go put this to good use. And they were in love with him in the training camp at preseason. So I think some guys are going to take a bigger step up, considering we're not overhauling the roster with free agents like we did last year.
Fruit snacks, man. I mean, look, you don't even gotta be faster to get the first down. If Zach Ertz would have just fell backwards, he would have got the first down. But look, with this new electronic chain gang this year, they ain't gonna hold us out of any more first downs, bro. I don't care what nobody said. That was a first down.
About that one.
Or at least give us a shot to measure the jump. They ain't even measure it. They just said no first down, game over.
Yeah. I wonder how that's gonna work.
Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like it should be more efficient than humans. Have to be. It's AI or whatever.
I think didn't they say something about adding, or did it get approved in that, like adding another person in the booth for reviews or something like that? I saw something come across about that.
Mac Jones to the 49ers on a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
Yes, that's cool.
I know.
Yeah, but how you feel? What's your sentiment, Z, on the aforementioned question?
On the free agents, I mean, I broke it down with the first 5 seconds of the pod. You missed it, John. I meant Juan. I got to go and Reedy called me out on it. He said, "Dad, you gave me your whole recap in 3 minutes." In the intro. My bad. But yeah, I mean, definitely far as the guys we retain, like I said, Zach,
I'm talking about more so of like the yeah, you're right, retain. I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah, the guys retain. So Zach, you know, definitely that was written on the wall that he was coming back. He finished the season strong. It seemed like after he had that concussion, but what game was that? It was a home game. He had the concussion, and he ended up coming back the following week and still playing. It seemed like after that, his play just turned up even more. You know what I mean? He finished that last game. He had like 11 catches. So I kind of like knew then that Zach is definitely it. He's saying he don't want to retire. It's definitely gonna be a guy we bring back, which is solid. I feel like I keep saying it. You know, Ben Sinnott, he got to step up and be that other weapon. So like Juan said, we're not relying on Zach to kind of be that main guy, kind of let him just come in and be sneaky in a sense. Is Cole Turner still on the roster?
No.
He not on the roster no more. Amani Rogers gone. All them guys gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, Yankoff, we'll see what he is. Who else? Bates. Oh yeah, they just gave Bates the 3 years. Yeah, that is a super wild name. And then with the Bobby Wagner thing, yeah, I mean that was a no-brainer as well. I'm with Juan on the McGee thing. McGee is a guy who stood out in camp. You know what I mean? So I definitely like McGee. You know, like I mentioned too with Tyler Owens, I liked him as well. So I think I agree with John. I think them guys gonna step up. Hamilton as well. I mean Hampton as well. But yeah, the running back thing is just a big question. You know what I mean? Rodgers and C-Rod and McNick was coming back. It's like, all right, what we gonna do here? I made the comment that if we draft one of the top guys, that maybe Eckler is the odd man out. But shit, with them bringing because I said Debo will be an extension of the run game as well. But shit, I mean now maybe C-Rod, you know, with them bringing McNichols back, maybe C-Rod would be the odd man out. Or you know what I mean, if they gonna move him up and down on practice squad. I mean, other than that, I mean, it's been the Seymour thing. I guess they just trying to, you know, fill in a guy with depth, see how he turned out. He had a short year because he got suspended last year for enhancements, but we'll kind of see how that goes. I mean, and that's mainly really it.
Special teams guy with Seymour, man. Trying to bring them special. Speaking of special teams, Nick Ballou not bad.
Nope.
He was a fan last year.
That would be the first person I would have signed.
Yeah, facts.
Nick Ballou, Tress Way. I think I ain't gonna lie, fellas. I think we won in the Super Bowl, so I think Tress Way retiring after this year. That's probably why he on the 1-year deal. I think they're gonna send Tressway off into the Hall of Fame with a Super Bowl ring. No, I'm gonna say Ring of Fame. Hall of Fame, they probably give him that.
Ring of Fame.
Definitely Ring of Fame. Definitely retire number. Oh damn, I forgot Jay Daniels here. I forgot all about the quarterback. I was about to say retire number 5, but I forgot he was the quarterback.
I forgot Jay in here.
Damn.
But I do want to touch on one of the comments. They said that we don't do B-Rob any justice running him out of the shotgun. I also added a pistol. I mean, you got a Kyle Juszczyk out there. And I'm not saying he's going to cost you the bag, but B-Rob probably is better suited to being in an I formation or in a split formation. Or read option with B-Rob. I don't think that he's the back for that.
No. They brought in Eckler because he was that speedy back, but with Debo now he takes up that role.
You need more of an explosive back. But I don't see Debo getting a ton of carries. I don't see it either. I don't think Debo wants to be that guy.
No. I don't see him getting those carries, but if you gave him 3 carries a game and he gave you 25 yards out of jet sweeps, out of I form, out of speed option, the triple speed, or the not triples, the triple option, I wouldn't be mad at it, but he's not going to get the 10, 15, 16 he was getting like 3 years ago in San Francisco, because he took over what Eckler was doing for that. Was your speedier guy. B-Rob is a pure power downhill hitter. He's not your speed. So because of that,
because he's not a one cut guy, because his one cut is slow as shit. He's a half a cut guy. If he's going to the right and he's going, say it's 26 black or 26 dive or whatever it is, he's going up the 6 hole. If he has to move side to side anywhere, he's tackled. He's tackled. Even if you go back and you look at I think it was the Tennessee game. B-Rob was 1-on-1 with the safety, and B-Rob went inside. Why wouldn't you give him and hit the sideline? Like, why he went back inside and he caught the one and caught him on the one with the one leg? I'm like, what kind of move was that? Why did you just pass over?
I don't know. Here's my question: if someone like in Arizona or or Los Angeles Chargers came to you come the draft and said, "We'll give you a 4th round pick for Brian Robinson," you taking it?
Who's trading for Brian Robinson on the final of his deal? And you got this draft class of running backs.
I agree.
I would take it, but I wouldn't. I don't think nobody would be willing to give that up. And to the point of what Reedy was saying, like, I want to believe we're going to address the receiver room further, but Debo wants to be a legit wide receiver. So what if like Adam Peters' reason for bringing him in was, hey, that's to fix the wide receiver too, and we just keep talking about him being this weapon. I do think he'll be doing himself a disservice by being a pure wide receiver too, because I don't see him being that. But I agree. I don't think he's here to be that Debo Samuel that's going to take 16 carries. Would I want that? You daggone right, because that's the best way he plays, but I don't think that's going to be the case. And then to your point to Eckler, like how faster Eckler is Brian Brian Robinson. I think Eckler just has way better vision, because I could tell, and we can all account to that, but there's countless times last year and countless games where it's like Brian Robinson, what the hell? If I see the cutback lane from the club level, how the hell don't you see it and you on the field? You know what I'm saying? So I don't think straight line speed, Austin Eckler is just that much faster. And I think that the key point that I can go to at the back of my evidence is him on kick returns. He's not the fastest kick returner, but the vision is what makes him so good. Like I know y'all was part of there, like the Giants game. Come on, even though they called it back, like he didn't just outrun them, bro. That's just straight vision right there. So I agree. B-Rob out of the eye form is what he's at best, and I hate when he's in the game, and hate's a strong word, but 2nd and 1, we out of the pistol, and Brian Robinson's back there. I already know it's a 2-yard loss. And I don't think 5. Yeah, and then that's why I don't think B-Rob is the best fit for this specific offense, because we're not an under center team as much. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's like obvious rundown, and even that's not obvious, because like the playoff games, what did we do? Under center versus the Bucks. Kept the ball with JD from under center. He just takes off and runs. So B-Rob's cool, but I definitely think we obviously need more explosion. But I'm gonna let somebody else.
Yeah, somebody said the other day he's the king of 2nd and 9.
Oh, someone just said a la Trent Murder. Go ahead, man. That's disrespectful.
I feel like B-Rob is a serviceable back. He's a back that you want on your team, but he just doesn't give me enough. Like, and going back to the year he got shot, it's just like, and when Z was stamping him like, yeah, he's a starter. And I'm like, no, he's not. Like, he's
coming out of college, it was you that put B-Rob on my radar, because mind you, it's a going notion that when it comes to Reedy and Z, Reedy is the draft guy. So when we drafted B-Rob, Reedy was like, yeah, I mean, B-Rob, he's Alabama, he's solid. So I kind of did a little bit of research. Research on him. I don't know if maybe him getting shot kind of slowed him down or what, but I definitely was high on B-Rob coming out. And even, like I said, at the beginning of this year, he started out nice. But somewhere along the line, he just went way left.
And then kept fumbling.
Yeah, I definitely was on the B-Rob hype train to start the season, because I felt like he was the only person that played with some physicality. So I definitely felt like we missed him in that sense. But as you said, like, I don't know what happened along the way. And again, I do think he's an NFL running back, but he's a split back kind of guy. Like, he's not your traditional number one. We need somebody that can take it the distance anywhere on the field. Somebody gives us a little bit more explosion. I feel like B-Rob's your not once necessarily say goal line, but he's your red zone. If you're not going to third down back, power back. If you're 2nd and 6 or something like that, give it to B-Rob. Or if you're 1st and whatever on the 10, give it to B-Rob. Like down there, like he can get you them tough yards. He may get 6, but he might turn it into 8. Like sometimes I feel like Cliff gets a little too cute down there, wants to keep doing his read option shit. Just hand the ball off and just go power formations. Like old school football. But I'm gonna let somebody else talk. That ain't Cliff though, man. Cliff ain't old school. Cliff will empty it out from the half-yard line, bro. Go 5 wide.
He is.
You know what I'm saying? If it was really up to him, if it was up to him, 5 would throw the ball 72 times a game and shit. I wouldn't be complaining, but
you go for a 4th down all the time.
Yeah.
But
so yeah. So at this point. At this point, is Hendrickson a no-go?
I was waiting for John to say something. It looked like he had something to say, but
I've harped on the running back class too often, so I was gonna put it to rest.
Nah, I mean, look, and your time is coming. I mean, free agency will get us another week, but like your draft time, you the star of the show, you and Reedy, because all I care about is September, October. No, I'm just playing, but
John is the star. John is definitely the star of the draft. Reedy ain't even scratching.
Hey, did you see when he started talking about C-Rod when he got drafted? He was like, like 20.
Oh yeah, I was going in there. I was like, wait a minute, that's
he's about to say pick number 296. He's about to say all that shit.
John, who we draft in the 5th round in 2013? He'll let you know.
When he get in his draft bag, that draft shit is his shit.
He gonna say Bakari Rambo.
Oh, what a name.
Oh man. I don't. Some is I don't know, bro. I want Trey Hendrickson. But since John brought up the point that they're at, and I saw it earlier, but their asking price just got too high. At first, it was like they'll take a second. But you telling me you want a first and some more for a 30? And trust me, 17 and a half back-to-back years is really good.
Insane.
But you got 30 years old, and you got to pay him all the money that he wants. You know what I'm saying? At least 30 mil. You start a conversation at least at 30 mil, and then got to give up first round plus some more. Yeah, he's probably for their asking price, and I think if he's not traded by draft night, I think their asking price is going to come down. But I'm not giving up that much for Trey Henderson. I'm sorry.
Trey Hendrickson might turn into their Trent Williams, is where he wanted out. Management said, nah, come draft night. They're like, all right, cool. What you got? 3rd and 5th? I bet. I would put money down. That's what happens is we get closer to the draft. Their asking price keeps staying the same, and he don't want to resign. They're gonna deal him for whoever's got the best, leftovers on the draft night.
I don't even think it's that he don't want to resign. Are they even offering him a contract extension?
I would bet he doesn't want to resign there, because Mike Brown or whatever their owner name is cheap. They haven't signed Jamar yet. They didn't want to resign T. They didn't want to resign Justin Simmons Jesse Bates when he was up for contract. T. Higgins has been on franchise tag for the past 2 years.
Did Jamar ain't get his deal yet, right?
Jamar still ain't got his bag. He's selling his 5th-year option.
$40 million a year. Like when they
damn. He put out the tweet talking about give him the money and add tax on top. he paid that man. He's well worth.
Yeah. And here's the problem. The Bengals and the Cowboys are in the same boat. You waited too long to pay your guys. You're in cap hell, and Myles Garrett just reset the whole benchmark for non-quarterbacks. That man got, 35 guaranteed a year, 40 guaranteed a year? Micah and Jamar themselves like, what are we doing?
Micah
Asia made a good point. They do got to get Hendricks off the books before they do sign anybody else, though. That does make a lot of sense. I didn't even think about that.
Absolutely right.
And Michael on his way to DC, man. You see where he going, bro. Anything that happened with the Commanders, he all over.
Jerry Jones going to franchise him as much as he can.
Not going to let him get here. If he do, it's probably going to be around the time Jaden got to get paid. So how the fuck?
Jerry Jones going to hate us out for sure. As much as he can.
The day Jerry pays Micah, he might be on his deathbed.
Because they already had the reconstruction CeeDee Lamb contract, and it's only been 1 year, and they reconstructed Dak
Prescott too. Yeah. They paid like $44 million, and that's still ain't
and they just paid Osa Odighizuwa, who I wanted him too, but I was not paying him that much money either.
He got the Deron Payne contract, so they got nothing, and they just traded for Kenneth Murray and Kyrie Elam. Linebacker and corner. They got nothing left.
They said they best signer was their long snapper, man. that was their best sign in the free agency.
They went all in.
He said this.
At least I've been seeing their name flash across the screen a little bit via Twitter and stuff.
Make a move
more than usual.
Javonte Williams could be good, but they tripping, bro. I would be. Man, let Cliff Kingsbury get Kayvon Turpin, bro. I'm telling you, he'd be an all-pro. Like, I know he was probably there as a punt returner, but like just a utility guy, bro. They underutilize him like crazy, bro. Like he is nice.
Kavonte got a good bag too.
Yeah. At this point, put Gotti in the backfield. Hey, me and B-Rob probably got the same 40 time at this point.
What was his 40 time actually? You say that. What was his 40 time?
Probably like a 4.7, 4.8.
Yeah, I can run behind Big Learn Me, bro. You know, I can hide behind, you know.
B-Rob wearing a 4.53.
That's actually faster than what a lot of people probably think.
4.5?
4.53 at 6'1" and 5/8, 225.
And so they saying, hold on, so Zadarius was washed?
Zadarius Smith washed. He did decent for Detroit. No,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I just randomly thought about Preston Smith for some reason, and I just saw that name.
Bring him back.
That was my man.
I don't know. Like I just thought about that strip sack fumble in the end zone versus Dallas. Jay Gruden snapping fraction. I don't know why that just randomly popped into my head when I saw Zadarius Smith.
Well, Preston Smith got traded to Pittsburgh and then got immediately released when the season ended.
Oh, you're a free agent now?
Oh yeah. Really? For no reason. Yeah, they didn't. Mike Thomas said we get you for what we can do. After that, you.
What about Azeez Ojulari is still out there, right?
Yeah, Azeez Ojulari's out there. Fowler, Emmanuel Agba, Cleveland Farrell, DeMarcus Walker.
What we're gonna do is I think they're trying to work this Hendricks situation, and if that don't pan out, then they're going to try to go sign these other guys for the low. And figure it out from there. Then you'll start seeing more signings from us. I think that's really what they're trying to figure out. But the first thing they should have did, they should have re-signed Terry right away. I don't know what they're waiting on that. What's the deal with that? Yeah. 3-year deal. Like, but I mean, it's simple.
I don't know what's because here you got a year or 2 years left.
Oh, Z, I feel like you got somebody you need to connect with him. He's a Derek Force fan.
Derek Ford.
Matt wouldn't keep Derek.
It ain't much to say about Defoe.
I ain't gonna lie.
I'm blown about it, but I mean, I'm blown about it for sure. I mean,
blows with me over Defoe.
I'm sure he ain't cost the Bills too much money. I mean, he definitely. I mean, he went from being a starter at one point to losing his spot and being injured and coming back and just. Whatever they needed for him, he showed up and he brought energy. He was excited every game. He was the same Defoe. So that tells you where his mentality at. I feel like he was a great character guy for the scene. But you know, they moved on.
My man loved the backless, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that 2022 Jaguars game had a lot of false hope. I'm thinking Jahan Dawson about to be the next Derek Force. Then
Carson Wentz looked hot for the one game.
That game really like we got a quarterback.
man, you can't tell me that ball that Carson Wentz threw. I got the perfect.
That joint to Terry. Hey, that man.
No, I'm talking about the game winner. Jahan. I got the perfect end zone angle of it on camera, bro. Ooh. I'm like, man, let's go, Carson.
Man, but that bomb to Terry in that window and Terry went up oh, that was a hell of a throw too.
It all fell off from there.
Got a quarterback. Like
it all fell off. Because then we went to Detroit
after that.
Next game, went to Detroit next game and got killed. But remember the first game? I mean that same Jaguars game. The first half, he threw that pick. I think was it pick 6 or something like that, or pick crazy. Or something like that. And we was like, oh shit, here he come.
Here we go again.
Second half he came out striking.
Hassan Reddick apparently off the board now. They signed with the
Bucks.
Yeah.
I ain't seen that come across my timeline yet.
We signed Jonathan Williams, a safety. Who?
What? Who are y'all getting? Because until I see Shefty or Josina or Fowler,
I go to JPA football, bro.
Or JP. That's a dog, right? That's a guy.
Hey, Jordan got to be running a bot, AI or something. Like
I got Commanders coverage post notifications on too. Yeah. I ain't seen nothing yet either, but
no, I'm on Twitter.
Last thing coming across my screen was Mike Williams back to the Chargers and Mac Jones.
I feel like that might be his third stint there or something. Like,
hey, hold on.
I ain't gonna lie, but
go ahead, Juan.
No, you go. I can say that.
I was this off topic, but it just came in my brain. John Kahn supposed no hate to John Kahn, but John Kahn supposed to be the Commander's insider, but he don't break shit. We don't break no breaking. It's either Nikki or somebody else. John Kahn don't break shit.
I ain't gonna lie. That's the same thing with JP now, but they used to be like that. I ain't gonna say they feel like they probably got too big for it, but like they just I don't know, bro. They ain't like back in back in the day, like I'm saying back in the day, like that was just a long time ago, like 2017, like they was on everything, but I guess now they real big now. So
JP got like 4 podcasts and the news at night. It's a lot of shit.
Unless it's Debo Samuel or Laramie Tunsil, but they ain't worried about it. But they like, hey, let them people do it, bro.
Yeah, no,
I miss they used to do that though for sure.
Yeah, Rugman is absolutely right. My bad, y'all. Hassan Reddick signed with Tampa Bay on Monday. That's right. I remember seeing this.
That's what I was saying. I feel like he signed already.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, 1 year, 14 mil, 12 guaranteed.
Yeah,
I'm mad that Mal Hamlin got re-signed. Why? I'm not for. I was just reading it.
Oh, somebody said it.
Yeah, my bad.
Like, you wanted DeMar Hamlin.
Oh, he wanted DeMar Hamlin. Okay.
Before we get up out of here, it was a question that was posed in the chat previously. We kind of went around it, but I saw it. It was like, well, what do you guys give free agency thus far? And I would say I would give it a B, a solid B. I give it a solid B because you bring in the formidable left tackle that we're probably going to re-sign. That's going to that's still he's 30 years old. Well, 30. What is he? 31? 30 or 31?
30.
30. So tackles he might play for another 3, 4, 5 seasons. You bring in a Debo Samuel.
San Gonzalez thoughts.
You did some things in free agency thus far. I wouldn't necessarily been the moves that I want, but if you go out and you make a marquee signing such as a Trey Hendrickson or bring in another receiver, a good receiver, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen or Cooper Kupp or something like that, I feel like that moves the needle. But thus far, I give it a B for what it is. We bring in some solid pieces. I like the Jonathan Jones situation. I like the Harris situation too, as well in the secondary. But I feel like and they seem like they're addressing the defensive line because it was like 3 or 4 defensive linemen that we then went out and got. Yeah, was it 3? Yeah. So I think
D
tackle, yeah, 3.
I say a B minus. Yeah, I mean the Debo is a weapon. Tunsil is definitely an upgrade there. But outside of that, it's just depth and re-sign. So I don't know. I'm still waiting for the corresponding move that we keep talking about. Like I'm waiting.
Roller Minor gives it an A. I'm still waiting for a corresponding move too.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad. I'm not mad at an A. I mean, I get it. We ain't signed the guys that we thought, or we ain't used the money how we originally thought. But like the more we talk tonight, we kind of are like piecing apart their philosophy, and it makes true sense to what we're trying to do as a team. So again, Will Harris isn't Javon Holland, isn't Tyler Noah Hufanga. Jonathan Jones ain't Mooney Ward. You know what I'm saying? But they seem to fit or know what they want to do. Like with Joe, I guarantee you Joe Witt Jr. had a big say on Javon Kinlaw because Javon Kinlaw is exactly what they did with DeRon Payne last year. Moved him to the outside edge to get a more physical edge on the outside, and that kind of helped the run game on that front. Now you're getting a Javon Kinlaw that could be versatile, and he's 300 plus pounds. I think DeRon Payne, Jonathan Allen, Johnny Newton are all undersized for the position. So I don't know, and maybe they bring on Javon Kinlaw to be an edge rush. I mean, to play the edge, and I doubt that because you want a quicker guy right there. But maybe that's what they decide to do. But overall, I'm fine with a B for myself. Because of course there are some guys that you would like to have seen them attack, but again, when you figure out what they try to do and their philosophy going about the moves, to me, I like bringing back. I think Will Harris is my favorite signing. The more I do my homework on him and figure him out, I think that's my favorite signing of the whole free agency class. The Laramie Tunsil trade is very interesting because clearly he's your left tackle. But what does that mean for Brandon Coleman as far as is he going to be? Is that the contingency plan to the guard position while Sam Cosmi is still out? Maybe that allows you to kill two birds with one stone. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? There are still questions that needs to be figured out, but that obviously won't get answered until July. Jonathan Jones, I'm fine with it. I don't know, man. I mean, I like it. It ain't what we probably expected, all the fireworks, but everything we've done, I feel like there is a reason behind it, and we ain't just all willy-nilly with our formula. And Reedy, again, I'll keep giving you credit for bringing that up, but that's the kind of motive I think we're going to be going with for years on end is 1 year, new faces outside of the key, guys, unless these 1 year guys end up having a Zach Bond kind of year where it's like, okay, we can't let this guy leave. Like,
what you got, John?
I'd probably go on the same pace, give it a solid B. I think the Laramie Tunsil trade elevated it to a B. Because like Debo's cool. A 5th round pick ain't bad at all. I liked the new addition to Jonathan Jones and Dietrich Wise since we've gone live. The Eddie Goldman signing, as much as he is like that big, heavy kind of run stuffing guy, it's cool, more depth. Javon Kinlaw was the name. I was like, this is the open sign on Commanders is Javon Kinlaw. All right, whatever. I mean, no disrespect to the guy. I just went, all right.
I'm laughing because when I saw his name, I'm like, who the fuck? I was on the phone with Rita. Who the fuck is Javon Kinlaw? Like, who the fuck
I
is
immediately
this?
knew who he was because I remember hearing him from San Francisco. So I knew who he was, but I
heard
like,
his last name before, but I'm like, who the fuck is this? This is who you signed.
You see
first?
his name pop up. You turn to Snoop
You
Dogg.
don't remember him from the argument he had with Grant Cohen at the 49ers Insider? That viral was he went in on him, bro. Like he was
put
like
that on his live. Oh,
Slim, he said he was like, you don't know me, bro. Like he was real going in on like that. It was crazy, man.
put some respect on my name.
And like that's unfortunate that's his most viral moment, but that goes to show you how he hasn't really lived up to what was it, the first round that he was drafted at?
Yeah.
He kind of in that Cleveland Furrow range. Remember Mike Mayock reached like hell for him. Raiders was Cleveland a 4th overall pick that year?
Cleveland was round 1, pick 4. Yeah.
That's the kind of round that Javon Kinlaw is in, but again, maybe the reason why my fault to cut you off, but the reason why I'm confident in the move is because similar to what I kept saying about Lance Newmark, these guys were on one accord. I would much rather have a whole bunch of guys all in on one player than having it split down the middle, where it's like some of the staff is in on this guy, some of the staff is in on the other guy. Remember, and then not to continue to bring up Ron Rivera, but remember Ron Rivera wanted was it who was it? Was it Forbes? It was one of the drafts where it was Forbes. Like, and then the rest of the guys in the GM room or in the front offices, they wanted Gonzalez, but they also was looking at him like what that. It was an internal like almost like argument that it happened. You know what I'm saying? That was
the last straw draft.
Yeah. So essentially what I'm saying is I'm trusting Adam Peters with the move of Deebo Samuel because he knows those guys, knows him. I'm trusting him with the Kinlaw move because he genuinely knows these guys for the person that they are, the player that they are, and the way he's moving, he wouldn't just give out. He's been very strategic with the money, so he's not just signing these guys without a plan. Same with Will Harris. He spent 5 years in Detroit with Lance Newmark. So clearly Lance Newmark knows him, and he was all talking to Adam Peters about making this move. So again, these aren't big name guys, but no one like y'all could fill me in because I was gone last year around this time. But I'm sure this is exactly how people felt about not Bobby Wagner because we know he's a dog, but Zach Ertz and all the other 1 year deals that we had. We let Cam Curl go. Like, what the heck are we doing, bro? Like, so. it's a yearly tradition. Like they're going to be upset about the moves, but then come October, September, Will Hurst killing. You know what I'm saying? Laramie Tunsil locking down that left side. Like they're going to understand the philosophy, and hopefully year 3 free agency for Adam Peters, they're going to stop questioning what AP is doing, because just allow him to do him, bro, until he gives us a. But like you said, Reedy, Reedy, Enzi, whatever. I forgot which one of y'all said. I'm sorry, but y'all was like, I was looking for. I think it was Reedy. I was looking at a reason to be mad at him, and I really couldn't, so I had to kind of fix that out. That's why I feel like a lot of fans are at right now. They're trying to find a way to be upset with Adam Peters, and he genuinely just ain't giving you that reason. So that's my little spill on it, though. Sorry, bro.
Everybody went?
Yeah. You was gonna poll that question?
Yeah. So Roland said, do we think we upgraded at every position? But before I get into that, I just feel like, for my point on my grade, I feel like the Debo signing, the Laramie Tunsil signing, definitely elevate this free agency. Like those 2 moves alone elevate this free agency and what they've brung in. Then everything else, I mean, if you take away those 2 moves, it probably would be enough for me. But those 2 moves kind of elevate, what we've done. But I feel like we upgraded our wide receiver position, bringing in Debo, the Swiss Army knife, the guy that could do everything. I feel like he brings great juice. If he can come into camp at the proper weight he needs to be at, and explosive, and bigger, faster, stronger, then I think we're good there. Laramie Tunsil definitely upgraded our offensive line. And Juan, I made the point that I thought that I would say, when healthy, our offensive line will look like this: Laramie Tunsil at left tackle. You have who did I say was going to be? I was saying we should go out and get Mekhi Becton to be our left guard. Then you go with Biotish. Then you go with Cosme when healthy, and then Brandon Coleman would be our right tackle. Or I think in a pinch, you can either kick Allegretti to your right guard, or kick Wiley down. I feel like Wiley was a better guard when he was in Kansas City. So I feel like that may work, and Coleman may work out being the right tackle. I think that will happen. But so I think we upgraded, like I said before, at the the tackle position. I feel like we brought in some quality depth guys along the defensive line. Nobody's that's going to wow you with some quality depth guys. We brought in a nose tackle. We brought in another defensive tackle. We haven't signed any edges, so that's still the outlier out there. What's the corresponding move on edge? Because that's
Dietrich Wise is a DN, but I think he's a bigger DN. I think he's like 6'3". I'm gonna pull it up real quick. But Dietrich Wise is an end.
Okay. Cornerback.
Dietrich Wise, 6'5", 280, had 5 sacks last season.
Quarterback, I feel like we brought in some quality depth, but I would look to bring in somebody, Jair Alexander if possible, or Sante Samuel Jr. That's a guy out there that I feel like might not cost that much, that will upgrade our defense, and then possibly going out and bringing back a Noah I at that point. I feel like we still need to upgrade the safety position. We brought in the guy from the Saints, Harris. But I feel like we need another possible free safety. I'm not necessarily sold on who was our free safety last year? Quan Martin. Not necessarily sold on him as a free safety. I feel like Quan could do a little bit better as a strong safety, but we'll see. But the way our defense operates is rotational. So one game, a guy may be back there at free. The next game he's at strong, or the next game he's at the nickel. It just depends. But I mean, I would say that we upgraded slightly, but not a major upgrade outside of the offensive tackle position or the wide receiver position, bringing in Debo. I think Debo, I'm not sold on Debo being a quality number 2, because I feel like we need a pure receiver. But I hate to use this term gadget guy, but a Swiss Army knife guy that could do it all. He can catch the ball, he can run the ball, he can do everything. I feel like that's an upgrade for our offense overall.
Is this something that I'm missing with Andrew Wiley? Like, if this was Erg the enemies, Andrew Wiley. Cool, I've been all over, but maybe I'm higher on him than most. But I feel like he had a really solid season last year, and everyone just seems to want to push him out the door, you know. And I feel like so you said what Nick Algreedy in your scenario is well on the bench because you know Makai Becton is going to want a long-term deal. He's 25 years old, so you're signing him to a 2-3 year deal. That's probably why he hasn't been signed as well because we just assume he's going to be on a 1 year deal, which maybe he is, but I think he's looking to get paid a multi-year deal. And are you willing to do that for a contingency plan just for till Cosme comes back, which he should be back at some point next year?
No,
I would sign him and let him be the starter.
Makai Becton ain't no starter. He would have been a starter.
Yeah.
So that's Makai Becton would have been a starter. If we sign Makai Becton, he's a starter. He's shown that he could play guard at a high level. He didn't pan out at tackle, but he could play guard at a high level. So I like him at guard. I like Laramie Tunsil and him at guard. Biotish at center. When Cosme's healthy, week 6, week 7-ish. He's the right guard, and then you put Coleman as the right tackle. I feel like until Cosme comes back, it's between Allegretti and Wiley to fight it out for that guard position spot. And I feel like Wiley would hedge out Allegretti. Allegretti, I just feel like he does. And what I said previously, I said that I feel like as far as no Diddy size wise, that I want a more stout, more bigger offensive line. You need that if you're going to compete with Philadelphia. I mean, that's the whole point, right? That I'm making the whole offseason. We have to play up to the Philadelphias. We play the who's who of schedule this year. We got all of the big dogs. They got all of these big offensive and defensive lines. Like we have to be able to win it in the trenches. So that would be the scenario. I wasn't even necessarily looking at what Makai Becton is going to garner as far as in the money. They can figure that out. If it's a 2-year, 3-year, however many year deal, I'm just saying specifically apples and oranges players that I would want to plug in there to make to upgrade our offensive line. That's what I was saying. But go ahead.
Nah, yeah. So that means just to correct me, Nick Algredy's to the bench. Makai Becton is your starting left guard. Tyler Biotish is your starting center. You said Wiley's your guard and then Brandon Coleman's your right tackle. I think if anything, Brandon Coleman's pushed into the inside. That's what I feel like this move was made for. Again, I'm higher on Andrew Wiley than most. You can save to the cap space if you're cutting Andrew Wiley, but what's the depth there now?
Andrew Wiley has 1 year left on his deal. This is last year of his deal.
Yeah, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Like they before free agency really got kicked off, they were saying if we cut him, we can save money towards the cap. On Rigo's Rags, I was reading the article, but I was saying was, what's the depth behind him? Trent Scott's not here. Cornelius Lucas isn't here. You know, what are we gonna do if So you're telling me Brandon Coleman's right tackle, Andrew Wiley's your backup, or he's gonna be your right guard?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Fill me in on
who's your depth at tackle?
Yeah, who's your depth at tackle behind those?
They would obviously have to sign another tackle. They would have to bring back probably a Trent Scott because Cornelius Lucas has signed elsewhere, so you can't bring him back, or maybe bring somebody else in. The scenario just was basically like, if in a perfect world, if I could have my offensive line, that's what I would do. Everybody seems to think that Coleman, because he played guard in college, that he's best fit inside. I think he'll be a solid right tackle. Mm-hmm. Solid right tackle. And then another point is, why would you put him in the inside and then you go with Wiley and he's on the last year of his deal?
I don't necessarily say I want to push Brandon Coleman into the inside because I dang sure think he still can play tackle as well. I just look at our scenario of our setup, and I just don't know if pushing him all the way to the right side is better than Andrew Wiley coming off the season that he came off of. I mean, there's only one specific play that I think Andrew Wiley cost us on that I can remember is when it was like a legal man downfield. Other than that, as far as pass protection, it was really Brandon Coleman's side that was getting worked. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but he held it down. And on the last year of his deal, maybe next year is the year you decide to move on from Wiley. But going into the final year of his contract, and he's been healthy as well too, for the intents and purposes of the contingency plan surrounding Sam Cosme, I think moving Brandon Coleman or I wouldn't mind Mekhi Becton. I just feel like he's expensive. That's the thing. Like, I don't know if we're in a position to where we're going to pay Mekhi Becton when it's like, what has Nick Allegretti done wrong besides be undersized? Like,
tell him what Nick Allegretti did all last year. That's the one who was getting worked last year.
Yeah, he was getting his ass mauled. I don't think he's a starter in this league. He can definitely be a rotational depth guy, but
is it his size? Like, you think he's just undersized for the left guard position, or is it just he's just ass?
I don't want to say he ass, because when he came in, you know, they signed him to a multi-year deal. He got a little bit of money, and they thought he would be a starter, but I think he was, you know, the weakest link on the line.
And I don't think Brandon Coleman was actually getting worked over. Like, if you go back and look at some of the highlights, he was crushing Trey Hendrickson. Like,
and Myles Garrett.
Yeah, like treating him like a little boy. So I definitely agree. That's why I'm saying kick him to right tackle. I don't want to kick him down because I feel like he can play tackle. I mean, left tackle is harder than right tackle. So if you bring in Laramie Tunsil, then kick him to the right side. And then I don't necessarily say that I'm kicking Andrew Wiley out of there. Now, like you said, I agree. The year with under your man's offensive coordinator, he was ass. But last year he did play well. He played well, but he still had some moments on tape that I seen where he's getting out there, supposed to be kicking out and not blocking shit. So I mean, but pass protection wise, he didn't give up much. But you know, I feel like you go with the young guy on the edge and let them figure out the inside, because he's on the last year of his deal. So I guess he's out by because he's on the last year of his deal.
Yeah, I think Mekhi Becton definitely improves the running aspect of the offensive line, because I mean that's something that we struggle at. We struggled at a lot last year, is opening up holes for the running backs, and I think Mekhi Becton has that athleticism and size that can allow you to do that. But again, I think he has a market that I don't know if we're willing to pay. Like the player, yeah, of course, we that's cool, but obviously all the negotiables and deals is going to play a huge factor. And the way that they move, it seems as if we trust the interior, because we haven't even signed any kind of depth for the offensive line. Am I tripping? Besides, you know, obviously the start there. Yeah, we haven't signed nothing, so I don't know, man. Unless we go to the draft.
I mean,
but you got to do something.
To the question he was saying, to the comment he was saying, Allegretti was getting work because he had zero help from the left tackle. Most of the time, the left tackle doesn't. That left tackle's on the island because he's facing your number one pass rusher. So if the left guard is going to get help, I'm going to send help with either a back. I'm going to either chip the edge to help the left tackle, or with a tight end, or the center is going to come down to help the left guard. It's not going to be the opposite direction, because the left tackle is basically the most important position on the field, because he's blocking the blind side. So he has to make sure he has his man. And then they also say that they like this scenario right here: Coleman the left guard, Allegretti the right guard, Coleman the right tackle, or Allegretti the right guard if Cosme isn't back. But yeah, what anybody else want to hit that, or we good on that?
I mean, that's similar to what you're saying. So I mean, I guess we got different ways to look about it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Cosme could put a Jonathan Allen. I mean, Cosme had a torn ACL. Jonathan Allen partially torn pec. So I don't expect Cosme to come back any soon than his timetable. And I don't want to rush him back. He's too important and valuable to the offensive line. So allow him to heal up, you know, as much as he needs. But it'd be definitely interesting to see the five that we tried out there, but I'm just not sure how much we are still looking to add to the interior or just the overall line for that aspect, unless it's the draft. I mean, maybe you find a Mekhi Becton kind of guy on a cheaper deal, rookie deal in the draft, but we have 5 picks. We don't have that many picks to you know what I'm saying, try that in. So it is gonna be interesting to see how we move. Sure.
Yeah.
But that's it. Y'all got anything else?
I got it.
Mike Dieter, ain't it? Yeah, he was bad. That Tyler Biadasz is the key to this offensive line. He goes down, we're cooked.
Cooked.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Theater was a diet center, so.
Yeah.
So that was your man, John.
What you mean? No, I said when we signed him last year, I went, who?
Yeah, but yeah, great show, fellas. You know, this same time next Wednesday, we'll be back at it with another episode of the Burgundy Breakdown. Reedy.
See, I'm John. He's
Okay. All right. I thought Juan was going like last time.
No. Wait,
Reedy, Z, John, and Juan.
And Juan.
I went last time. I thought you went. I thought it was always this order. I thought I was always.
We were mixing it up this episode, so we
okay.
gotta iron this out.
We gonna get it right.
I think we just go Reedy, Z, John, Juan. The way it's set up, like that's why I thought. That's why I was waiting. But
1, 2, 3, 4. Respect.
1, 2, 3, 4.
But yeah, like, share, subscribe all of our channels. Tap in with us. We'll be back. Potentially we'll be back next Wednesday. We'll kind of see how the news flows and we'll go from there. We appreciate all of y'all for staying on with us for 2 hours. Locked in, much love. But yeah, until next time, we out.
Peace. See y'all next week, man.
Yeah.